Well, hello again. I've made a decent amount of progress since the last update. The audio portion is getting close to being done. Still haven't done anything with the projector screen. Honestly, I still need some more room to work down here before I can really do that, because it takes up like the whole space. And like I said, I want to do some audio measurements and stuff before I put the screen material up. I don't really have a way of assembling the screen and then like moving it out of the way to do that. So that'll be soon, but not immediately. But I'm almost done with the audio. So let's see what we got going on here. I don't remember if I discussed this in the last video or not, but I had to make some modifications to this guy because the banana plugs stick out past the back of the speaker, and they didn't really plan for that when they designed it. So that guy juts out a bit. I got the one on this side mounted. Did a little bit of a different method. This piece of wood, which anchors into the top there, it's actually thin enough that the binding posts actually fit on either side, so they don't have to like jet it out or anything. This table is inherited, and that'll actually be on the side there. It fits pretty good. You know, you need someplace to put your drinks and your popcorn, whatever. I did get the cabinet moved over to where it's supposed to go. It's probably going to stay there, although to be determined, but I think that'll work. I got the rear speaker up, so I mounted it slightly higher, about 4 inches higher than the side surrounds, just to kind of boost it up over the back of the headrest a little bit. You know, just to have a little bit of a clearer audio path. And it really shouldn't matter with the imaging a whole lot. As far as this guy, I just have it screwed in directly to the wall, and the stuff is so thin. I mean, it was cheap, and I didn't want to spend a lot of money on a wall that is temporary and basically just acting as backing for my audio panels. I just drilled the holes and stuck the binding post right to the back. I'll do the same thing over on this side for this guy when I get the wall in, but I can't really do that until I finalize the screen and its placement, so I can make sure that that cutout, you can see that little yellow box down there, I can probably make that out, is what I think the hole is going to be, but I need to fine tune it once I actually get all the final placement set up. The cable management is a lot, you know, there's a lot more runs than before. These are basically full, but they are also done at this point. The only thing that is left to run is the 3 Atmos. I have 1 Atmos already run, but the Atmos are actually not going through these channels. They're actually coming over in a different spot up here because it was easier. And same thing with this left surround. It's actually not going through the rear channel. It's just routing over and going through this beam. I'm going to tack it down and make it look a little prettier, but it again should be behind a curtain, so you shouldn't see any of that. But I want to make it look a little neater. So there's that. Like I said, you know, obviously as we move past the projector, you know, 3 cables come out, so there's more room over here. You know, and that one comes out there. So, you know, as we go down the run, there's less and less wires. But so that's that. As of the moment, everything is still connected up to the old Marantz, I think it's an SR9300, that I'm going to be using for my part in the HVAC. It's kind of hot today. I didn't really want to turn it off. Hopefully you can still make me out though. But yeah, I'm going to use the SR9300 as a secondary amplifier for my additional channels. I got the AV7706 from Marantz, which I have not hooked up yet. That is a soon project. But that's basically going to be my preprocessor. Going to have... Actually, that's not even it. I'm sorry. That is the AV7706. That's a little better. So that's going to be my preprocessor. Going to come out of their XLR into my MM7055, which is this guy, for my front stage and my left and right surround. And then my rear left and right surround and my 4 Atmos are going to come out of this guy. Here's where most of them come over the wall, come down, and they're currently going into this, at least the ones that are wired. I actually have the one Atmos that's set up as my zone 2 at the moment. But basically all they gotta do is, these guys are really smart. These jumpers here actually bridge the internal amplifier with the preprocessor on this. So if I pull these out, basically you can either go pre-out into an external amp or pre-in to the internal amp. So I'm gonna go pre-out of the the 7706 into this, and I'm gonna use its amplifiers for the extra channels, and I'll still have like one left over. But I figured that was a more cost-effective method. I can finally go separates, and I only had to buy one additional amplifier instead of starting completely over and having a perfectly good amplifier just sitting idle with nothing to do. So that is where we are currently. I do have now 3 of the 4 Atmos mounted. One more to go here in a minute. That will probably be done in between videos because, I mean, no big deal. And then once I have those last 3 cable runs and the last speaker mounted, I will probably go ahead and actually officially set up the 7706 and switch it over as the processor. And then I'll hook up the Shield, my Nvidia Shield. I actually had to get that replaced. My original Shield is still fine. My Shield Pro, I only got it in March, barely used it. It's been boxed up for the move for the most part. All of a sudden wouldn't connect to Wi-Fi. None of the remotes would connect, no Bluetooth, like all the radio transmitters died. So I got that already made. They sent me the new one, which is what that was, through advanced replacement. And I gotta send the old one back, but I tested the new one. I actually came here yesterday, it's working. So I'll connect that up, so I'll actually have a video source down here. Temporarily I may use my old 100-inch pull-out screen, which is what this guy down here is. I don't know if I've actually shown him yet. See, it's a little bit smaller than the new one, but it might be a good temporary thing just to kind of, you know, make sure my audio is all good and test my levels and all that stuff. I unboxed the audio panels. These are the ones that are gonna go, you probably can't make out that pattern because I'm in the light, but basically those are the ones that are gonna go on the ceiling. They were cheap, they were discounted, that's why the patterns don't match, but it should be good enough. I mean, it's for the ceiling, just to kind of hide all this ugliness, and then hopefully reduce some of the audio going upstairs. It's a pretty good transmission between the 2 floors. And I'm not sure I actually ever showed the curtains. These are the purple curtains that are going to surround the entire space. And then you saw the fluffy panels that are going to go on the back panel. They're actually going to mount to these walls here to help with the slap echo and some of that. And then we'll see if I need to get some of the diffusion panels to liven it back up a little between the curtains and the carpet and everything else. I might need to actually add in some reflection points to kind of re-liven up the room. But that is currently where we are. There is the movie poster collection. I actually used to work at Blockbuster back in the day, and they were throwing away the marquees that used to hang on the windows. If you guys remember the big wood boxes with the chasing lights and all the backlit movie posters, they were tossing them. So I actually took one out of the dumpster and took it home, and then my mother was like, "Ooh, that's cool, I want one too." So she actually pulled another one out, and then this was probably 20 years ago at this point. She actually sold hers for a couple $100, I'm keeping mine. It'll look pretty good. What I think I'm going to end up doing is at the bottom of the stairs over here, I think I'm going to go ahead and probably put this bar. Sorry for the motion, I'm not using a steady cam or anything. Yeah, not really taking the YouTube thing super seriously. Just kind of documenting this and we'll see what happens. But I got this bar from my wife's grandmother. Gonna probably use it for extra classes and stuff, but I'll put the marquee on top of that. Gets it up off the floor nice and high. Should be pretty cool. And then I do have some spiral lights that I'm gonna at some point try to install. That is obviously well past, or you know, much further down the path. Right now I just want to get the AV stuff going, get it buttoned up as far as that quality goes, and then I can worry about aesthetics and things like that later. But that's where we are for now. Sorry, I work third shift, I'm pretty tired. Yeah, I come home and do what I can, which is why it's also taking a while. Say hi, Gizmo. So that's where we are, and then I should hopefully have another update probably in another week, and at that point I should be buttoned up as far as my video and my audio. Everything should be routed to the new processor. I may have a screen by then, although I don't know for sure. Like I said, I want to do some pre-measurements and stuff beforehand, so depending on how things go, I may or may not get that done by the next video. But either way, I'm kind of rambling at this point, so just current progress, and we will see where we go from there. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to see more of this kind of stuff. It is all going to be added to a playlist. You know, you guys know how YouTube works, I don't need to explain it. Talk to you later. Thanks for keeping an eye on things. Now, yeah, a quick addendum. I did want to make note of the fact that I did finish the first 250 feet of my speaker wire. It's actually the stuff that Audioholics had recommended. I mean, your basic, you know, 12 gauge speaker wire. It's decent, you know, pretty thick. Seems to be oxygen free. But yeah, first 250 feet gone. I got another spool of 100 foot sitting over here. And like I said, the only thing I have left is the two front and the rear right Atmos channels. And then I am done with audio wiring. So just wanted to point out that the project is coming to a close because I went through 250 feet of wiring so far. Alright, see you guys later.